Recording in progress. Here we go. I've got Shane Sample. Oh, sorry, Tony Sample. I'm only
Expert on
joking.
memory.
Only joking, man. All right. So as you know, I'm having chats with people about how bad their memory is, and
Yeah,
you approach me saying, "You know what, Tansel? I need to speak to you, man. What's going on? To tell me about it. What brings you here?"
I think something. It feels like something's broken. Okay. In particular, in the people area. So whatever part of your brain is responsible for names and connecting faces is just muddy waters. So everyone sounds familiar, um, and looks familiar, but but names are just gone, genuinely gone. And it's like I would have to really ultimately know you. And it's not like, oh, sometimes you call your kid by your pet's name or something like that. It's not that type of thing. It's sitting there and drawing a genuine blank and going, fuck, 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 fuck. Sorry, you got to bleep that later. Um,
We'll leave it in.
so yeah, yeah. Or you just lost all your sponsorship. Um, but yeah, so and it's been around for a while. I thought it was getting better, but it's not. Um, and yeah, it's even names. It's not like, oh, I met this person once, because I that bugs me when people go, oh, that's James. He works here and he does that. And I notice some people just are really good, and then but the average person will usually remember a person's name, and they'll remember something about them,
Mm.
where I have to really actively work on that. And even then, I'm massively let down where I don't remember anything and draw massive blanks and have just left. It's like it just feels like you left your wallet at home when you can't remember anything. Like no matter what you're gonna do, you're not gonna get that stuff. Is
Mm.
how it feels. Um, yeah. So I have a feeling I know why, but I don't know if that's true, and I don't know how true that is now, because it made sense a while ago, but I don't know why it still feels bad. Yeah.
Is that something you want to discuss, or is that sort of a private issue for you? I mean, I respect either way.
We can talk broadly. Most people know, and I'm not afraid to talk about it. But yeah, basically, I had a very traumatic thing happen.
Hmm.
Um, and then I was told during that, because I noticed I couldn't remember anything in that. Like I would forget where I was going, and I couldn't.
Mm.
And I remember walking in the meetings, and but it still happens though. But like, it was just stronger. Like I would look at my phone. I'm meeting with James. Put down that. All right. Oh, James, and it would just be instant. Like where now that still happens, but I think I've got a 5 minute cool down period. But
Mm.
it's not. It's That's it. Like I thought it would get better, and it's not, because I genuinely used to be really good. Um, I'm good with details. Like I'll remember bits about you, but I still won't remember your name. It seems like the things I really want to remember, I don't, and the things that are weird and off point. But it's even like I'm trying to learn jujitsu at the moment, and I'll do a session, and it really takes a bit for it to come back to me. But then there's random things that I remember in it that just have stuck, and there's no rhyme or reason that I can make out of it.
Mm. Yeah, it's an interesting thing because yeah, there's so much going on in the brain, and I mean, I've met you before, so people watching, this is not our first interaction. I've met Craig. Sorry, what was your name again, Shane?
You just How many times are you gonna pop that in?
Yeah, you can only run that joke, once, I
Yeah,
guess. So
yeah.
apologies.
Unsubscribe, everyone. Unsubscribe. Dislike.
Yeah, that's it. um, I've met you before, right? And
Yeah.
from my observation, because I'm really good, I'm highly perceptive with people. You're highly intelligent. One of the smartest guys I've met in a very short space of time. I've got that. And you saying, you've got certain memory issues with names and details and stuff. You know, it's like people watching might just sort of look at it and go, well, hang on, I'm like that.
Mm.
What's going on? This is happening to me as well. And you are fairly young as well. It's not like you're in your 50s, 60s,
No, I
70s or
can't
anything
pull
like
the
that.
old man card. Um, and yeah, like I remember things, otherwise I couldn't function in society, right? It's just this part, and I guess it maybe it's important to me though. Like I
Mm,
feel like I like the relationships I have with people, um, and I like building relationships, and I find that it bothers me. I guess is what I'm trying to say.
mm.
This bothers me that I can't remember this stuff because I feel like I should, and it's important to me to be able to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember you recently put up a post on LinkedIn and it was really quite powerful about, human connection, not just
Mm,
sort of sales and stuff. And I was like, man, this is it. It is
mm,
about the connection between humans, but how do we really get to that level? Yes, there is that deep down care and all that sort of stuff. But if you can't remember a name, that's like the window to that person as well. And yeah,
yeah.
we do find it hard to say, oh, so what was your name again? We'd rather just, whittle away and, just walk away than just ask because we get embarrassed. We're professionals. It lowers our colors. We might feel that, but at the end of the day, we are human as well. So that
I've
is
got
something
packs.
that,
I've got
yeah.
I've got arrangements with people where I say, dude, I'm gonna bring you in and I need you to get the name. So I'm gonna, hey, this is this is James, and like with the hope that they go, oh, nice to meet you, James. It's name's Stacy, just so I can get that name without embarrassing them. And they're like, quick, write it down.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, look, outsourcing's great. You can
But not
delegate
not
delegate our
scalable.
brains. You delegate all you want, but at the end of the day, you still have to use it. That's what
Mm,
happens. We think that we can delegate, this and that and that and that, and we'll be all effective. But that you still have to manage all of that, and that's still in your mind. So you can't really outsource your brain. Yeah, we think there's AI, IT, all that sort of stuff, which is you can do amazing things, but you still have to think. You still have to use your brain.
hmm
So it's really quite interesting. Now you come from an IT background, yeah? That's where
Yeah, digital
you're working.
marketing.
Cool. Do you know much about like networking and stuff as well? Have you delved into that area or studied it maybe?
The basic stuff that I do myself at home, and I studied it, but I don't remember any of that.
That's cool. I'll just, the reason why I mentioned it is I studied, information systems back in the day
Yeah.
at uni, and what we were taught was, there's all these different internet protocols and models, and one of the old one was the good old OSI model, right? The 7-layer model, and what they told us was the information, it really starts off as zeros and ones, goes through all the cables, gets, I guess, encoded from the physical layer, which is the bottom layer, through session and transport layers, all that sort of stuff, and gets spits out as an image from the application layer, right? So why I'm mentioning this is that names is like zeros and ones, right? And if it doesn't get processed just like this model, then you're not going to get an image and you're not going to remember, right? And that's not just with names, it's with any bit of information as well. So if the information's got no meaning, it's going to be harder to remember. So just like people that can't remember speeches or facts and data and things like that, it's because there's no connection to actual imagery or stories, right? So to remember someone's name, all you have to do is create images and tell a story. That's it, right? So for example, if you meet a person named John, right, and you were to create a story, what would you do?
Thing that pops into my head is my dad's best mate's name is John, so I'd try and link it to that maybe.
Yeah.
Um, and then I don't know after that.
Yeah, cool. So any bit of association is a good start, right? You look
Yeah.
at my name, Tansel. It's fairly abstract. Like people either remember or don't, right? So you can say tinsel, right? Tonsil, yell out, hey, you tinsel. So I've had that before. That's why I said it. So now you've got an image, right? Yes, you'll be able to remember from the image, but it's not that strong, right? You have to create a story. So maybe if you put tinsel on my head, put me on a Christmas tree or something like that, right? Now there's a little bit of a story, right? So it's the
Mm,
story that actually helps you remember someone's name. Now, obviously, that takes a bit of time to do. So the more you train your memory, the faster you get with the names and everything else. In fact, the more information you have on the person, the easier it is to remember, right? So if you met someone named John, right, is your dad's mate, you met, let's say, someone else named John. So picture your dad's mate, maybe knocking them out or something. So you're going to create something dramatic, right? Or maybe giving them a big hug. And then you have to create a story from there. So what could happen next? Maybe they're having a drink, or maybe they're wrestling, maybe they're doing jiu-jitsu. I don't know. You've got him in a headlock. Right. So now you add that little bit of story, it adds context behind that imagery, and that context helps you to retrace your steps back and remember the name.
It's funny you say that. Years ago, I got access. Google invited me to do a very special sales training. So they flew us up to their headquarters, and we did the training there. And there was a guy doing it, and he went Tony, James, and he knew everyone's names. And we're just like, how do you know us? And we didn't have name tagging like that, so not easy stuff. But when we signed up, we had to say our name, something about us. And so we said our names once, but he basically had memorized every name that was going to be there, and he had a story because we had to say something weird about us. So we had to say, "Hey, my name's Tony, and I've never been employed," or something like that. So is that the story thing that you're talking about?
That's it. And what year was that? It could have been me, actually.
No, well, no, I think I remember him. He was from America. You don't sound American.
Okay, yeah, cool. No, awesome.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, that's it. You make up the story. Now, obviously, the more you train your brain, you're going to get better at making the story, and you're going to get faster at it too. So in real life application, you might meet someone or meet a group of people, but you're stuck on one person making a story, and then you're forgetting what they said, and then it's like other people have said stuff. So it's difficult, right? So that's where the memory training comes in. I recently just did a video about memory training and application as well. So I'll pop that on my YouTube channel. Now, can we do a little memory test? Right.
Yeah, if you're ready for the worst result ever.
Let's see, man. I am going to share my screen. Let's just make sure it's the proper screen. There we go. Now you can see that. This is a website called memoryleague.com, right? I'm on it all the time. It's a memory training site, but also people compete against each other, right? You got the world's best memorizers on here. So people don't muck around. So there's also names, international and just whatever regular names is. Don't go to that one. It's too
Western.
hard.
Yeah.
So Western. All right. So I'm just going to pick 6 names, right? And we'll just do a little memory test. But can you see that, by the way? You're on your phone, aren't you?
See, that's the problem.
How big's your phone?
It's a big phone, luckily
That's
for me.
Right. Good stuff.
It's the big foldy one. I'm going to hold it. All right.
Big foldy ones are good for memory training. All right. So I'm just going to hit start. It's just going to give us some random faces, right? With some names. And we'll go through. I won't do a little memory test. We'll go through how we'd memorize it, right? So probably better for the people watching anyway. They don't want to see you being tested. So this lovely man, his name is Zachary, right? If we were to make a story using that, what can we do from just having a little chat before?
All right. So we got to think like Zachary. He kind of looks like footballer that never made it. Now he's in real estate. I don't know any Zacharys out there, so I'm just trying to go random. Zachary, football dropout. Now he's in real estate.
So that's good. It's a good start, right?
Yeah. What am I missing?
well, I'll tell you what you're missing, right? You got the story, which is good.
Yeah.
Right. There is no connection to the actual word because the word is they say left brain. The story is right. We need to still connect them together.
Okay.
Right? So, for example, Zachary. Now, I used to get on the CB radio back in the day, before the internet days, right? That's how old I am.
Right? The what?
That's how old. If people watching, they go, "What the hell is a CB radio?" It's an old radio that people used to talk to each other before they chatted on the internet, right? So, and we used to have call names, right? Like nicknames and stuff. And my uncle was, we were living together at the time because my parents were overseas, and his call sign was Zachary, right? And I was Zachary Jr. So I'd call myself Zach Jr. right? So I've got I might just use a CB radio as my little icon, right? For Zachary. So I can see this dude, maybe he's in, failed football. I love that story. He's in real estate. But he's in one of the booths, and instead of a phone, he's got a CB radio. He's going to break a breaker or something. He wants to, we used to, in order to get into a conversation, you'd say break a breaker. And then people would go, who's there type of thing.
Okay.
I'm not sure if you ever did that, but good fun.
No,
good
well, you got to say over. That's all I remember.
Yep. So that's Zachary anyway. We took a while, but I've got a personal connection to that name. Now, if I didn't have a personal connection, who do I know that's Zachary? I don't know anyone personal, but I do know a celebrity, that Zach Galifianakis guy, right? The comedian, the Greek dude.
Yeah.
US. So I can now picture maybe he's starring in a show with him, right? So someone or even a celebrity is a really cool association as well. So anyway, we spent enough time with this dude. Let's go to the next person.
Okay.
All right, Margaret, what can we do to her?
I gosh, I don't know any people. Margaret. She looks like a, I don't know, yoga instructor. But I'm trying to think of how I personally link with Marge. Okay, but she doesn't look like Marge from The Simpsons. But let's say that's what Marge looks like if she did yoga and dyed her hair black.
Beautiful. Yeah. See, the brain doesn't know no or don't. So what I'm trying to say is you can imagine anything.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of it. So yeah, Marge, she let her hair down and that's what she looks like. And there's a little bit of blue here as well. So, Marge's hair was blue. So you can actually use that as well.
Oh yeah, the blue shirt for the blue hair. Yeah. Okay. Love it.
You can do that. So that's good, right? Let's go on to the next person. Yeah, Will.
All right. If you really try, it's not even close, but I can see the next ones. But I think Will I know is Will Smith. He doesn't really look like a rapper, but what's that shirt? Is that oh no, it's palm trees. Yeah, he lives in what's that, Palm Beach? Yeah.
So
Will
I like
Smith
what you
from Palm
came up
Beach.
with. I like what you came up with first, Will Smith. So that's good. Use that. Now connect Will Smith onto this dude. What story can you make now with Will Smith and this dude?
Will Smith, I know, lives in California. He's got palm trees on his shirt, so that's what I'm going with.
Okay, so let's connect Will Smith onto him, right? Let's make a little drama, a little action. What can we do? Come on, let's use that creativity of yours.
Okay, all right, fine. So besides the palm tree shirt, it looks like a very cheap shirt. Will Smith is not getting much money since he slapped Chris Rock. So that's what he has to buy now, is cheap Target shirts with palm trees on it.
Cool, man. There we go. Or you could just have Will Smith slapping this guy out because of his t-shirt. Do you see what I did? I just went directly to that association.
Yeah.
So cool. Next one, Olga.
She looks Russian, and Olga's a very Russian name.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what else. I don't know. She just looks like my wife's Russian, so I can say that she looks like a Russian that's scheming against me. She's got that look.
Yeah, she's got that look, like she's looking like, I'm going to mess you up type of thing as well.
Yeah, you're going to be very in trouble.
Yeah. So your stories and imagery are great, right? So what we need to do is we need to really connect it to the word, because this is what's abstract. This is what needs to be remembered.
Yeah.
And the story connects to the abstract. So we're going to think, okay. Olga. Does it rhyme with something? Is it, similar to another word? Do you know a famous Olga, or she just looks like an Olga? I mean, that doesn't really work. Oh, this person looks like whatever. But what can we do with that actual word?
Olga. Old girl, even though she's not.
See, I like that. That's good. It doesn't have to be exact wording, because the old girl
is all I remember, even though
I like it. I like it. And because you called her old girl, she's looking at you like, I'm gonna miss you.
Yeah, she's pissed now. You calling old. I'll fold you in half. I'll fold you in half, buddy.
Yeah, armbar straight away, man. Next one.
Girl.
Lydia.
I didn't even pronounce. I said Linda in my head. So I'm also dyslexic. Um, Lydia Lida. Yeah, I'm trying to make a connection here. Oh, I'm struggling.
It's a real creativity exercise, isn't it? I think
Yeah.
for the people watching, some people get it straight away, some people take their time. It's really fascinating. Like I always look at, do I know a Lydia, famous or otherwise?
Yeah.
Can I make something with the word, right? Lydia,
Yeah.
maybe light. There's, it's close to lid. There's a lid. Maybe she's opening up a lid with her finger. I don't know. Um, you know, there's sound alikes.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying, man. I'm trying. Lid. Yeah. Lydia. Lida.
Maybe
Lydia.
Lydia's in media, right? She looks
Lydia
like she's in
Media.
social media, right? She's
Yeah.
an
She looks like she's watching
influencer.
an influencer with her chopsticks in her hair or whatever that's meant to be.
Yeah, yeah, that's
Yeah.
good. Yeah, the other one's floating in midair, it looks like. So
I know. Yeah. Some bad photoshopping, but
come on, dudes.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
forget this one. I tell you what, I bet you $5 I don't remember this one.
Oh,
Okay,
that's easy five.
Lydia.
Nah.
Yeah, and it multiplies for everyone. I forget. Lydia. I'll Lydia, Lydia. No, I can't. I don't know. I'll
Yeah.
see.
No,
I
that's
might
cool.
just remember it because I think I'm gonna forget it.
Yeah, that's actually a memory technique. I was told by one of my coaches. He goes, if you're really struggling, just say to yourself, you're going to forget it and move along. And I did
Yeah.
that in competitions, and it actually helped me remember. So it was awesome. So you probably will remember this. But how I would do it, there's a
Yeah.
lid here. So it could be LID, lid. So I'm picturing a
Yeah.
lid.
Yeah.
And maybe she's like, you know what? Just stick a lid in it. I don't want you talking about something. And she's got her finger like that, you know.
Or that's I can't open the lid on the jar. Can you do it? That's
yeah,
with an
maybe in a,
inquisitive face. Yeah.
I was going to say sensual face, but it is
Yeah.
going out to kiddies. So,
Yeah.
yeah, you know what
Okay.
I mean.
Yeah.
Finally, we have Dale.
Dale. That looks like a Dale.
It looks like a Dale.
Yeah. Dale from accounting. Yeah. That's a corporate. I don't know any. Do I know any Dales? These Dale's male, and there's no more male photo than that picture right there. That is a
That's
100%
middle class
male white man right there.
It's it. There's no, yeah, that's it. Sometimes it's so obvious. You go, you know what? That's a Dale.
Dale.
But I've
Dale's the male.
found, because that's what we used to have names and faces in the memory competitions, right? And
Yeah.
sometimes you come across a person like this, Dale, it's like you don't even have to remember, you just get it, right? You go, oh, he's a Dale.
Here's
But
hoping I
then
don't
what
get this one.
happens though, this is a thing. Then what happens, because you made no story or connection or anything like that, just
Yeah.
because you think you have it initially, when you go back and recall, you totally forget. And it's like,
Dale's very
oh,
pale because he doesn't get outdoors because he's an accountant. Pale
that's it.
Dale.
Yeah, yeah, that's it. Cool. So let's go to finished. Right?
Oh god, now I'm panicking.
And let's go. See if you can remember who these people are.
That's Lydia.
All right.
Oh my god, now I remember the other bit. He's a real estate agent.
Think of the
It's coming back.
story. Think of the
Yeah.
story.
I got it on the tip of my tongue. This is what happens. Like,
What were the stories? Say it out loud. Like, what can you remember?
We were talking about him being. Oh, see, I'm doing Tony. He couldn't be a footballer or whatever, so now he's a real estate agent. Starts a K, doesn't it?
There is a K in it.
Think
about. Do you remember my story? My personal story with yeah, I can't really tell my story, but
no, you can't.
He's on his, little cubicle. He's on something, right? Instead of a phone.
Oh yeah, the CB radio.
Yeah.
But you didn't when you remembered someone that had a CB radio that had the same name. It was your call sign was the same as his, your father's or whatever.
It was uncle, but
Uncle,
yeah,
sorry. Yeah.
close. Yeah, so that's personal to me. So I'd remember that, not necessarily yourself, but there was also another like a celebrity that was connected to this guy as well, a famous actor.
Yeah, but that's the Greek one, but I didn't know that actor that well.
Ah,
So
okay, yep, yep.
yeah. I remembered I know a dancer, a physio guy that used to be doing dance. So he's got the exact same name. I remembered after, and that's why I'm really annoyed because I know the name, but I don't know it.
Let's make another
Can we come back to it?
association.
Can we come back? Can we
We,
come
we
back,
can
or are we
we
not
can come
allowed
back.
to?
I was going to give you another association for him. He's got a really bad back.
Zach. Zachary, actually, if we want to be technical.
Yeah, is that the way? Is there a K in there?
No, there's no K.
Yeah, let's just. Is there an H? Yeah, who cares? We got Zachary. That's good
And
enough.
there's Will Smith, who
Yeah,
can't
well,
afford
that was
shirts.
easy.
Yeah. She was the yoga instructor, but now I can't remember the name.
Look at her face.
Blue. There's something to do with blue. There was something to do with the blue on her.
And her hair's down as well.
Yeah. Marjorie, something like that. Yeah.
All right. So tell me the exact name. What was Marjorie connected to?
But it was
Probably
Marge
a
Simpson.
bit hard. Yeah. It was Margaret. So you're close.
Margaret.
Close.
Damn it.
I'll give you half of that.
And then Olga's next. I know Olga. She's scary Russian. Oh, now the easy one. Dale. There we go.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Dale. He's pale. Works inside in accounting.
All right, let's go. Finished. Bang. Got them all, man.
Oh my God. Zachary was a hard one. And Margaret, I guess I kind of cheated with that.
Yeah, you actually got the easy ones. I've had a lot harder names with people because I've done a few of these videos now, and some of them are really difficult. But if you don't have a personal connection, that makes it difficult as well.
It does.
So you really have to play on the name. Like Will, we could say Will Smith. I don't know Will Smith, but I've seen his movies, right? So you can do that. But if you don't know a Will, you don't know anyone in your family or friends named Will, then you're like, okay, maybe you're going to sign a will and give it to this guy.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? So you can play on the word. Or
looks like meanings. A lawyer. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, Dale, if you have no Dale, nothing, you know, you go, okay, Dale looked like a whale, right?
Yeah.
Rhyming technique.
Yeah.
You know? Sorry, Dale, if you're watching. I didn't mean that. Don't come after me, man. We're just going through association. So that's the names. Yeah.
That's the best recall I've ever had. But okay. So here's the thing. I met these lovely 6 people at an event today, and I'm able to recall their name 600 seconds later or whatever. But if I came back to these same 6 in 4 weeks from now, what are the chances I would remember, do you think?
With the rate you're going, not very well. Look, and the reason why I say that is in order to remember someone, you have to create a really good story, right? You can't just say, you know, Zachary, the guy from, you know, that show, right? And that's it. You'll remember it for the short time, but you'll forget it longer term. So in order to remember people for long term, you have to keep feeding the story, right?
Yeah.
So you might meet them, make an association there, maybe 10 minutes later, go through that again in your head. And then maybe a week later go, you know what? I met these people. Let me build that story up again. You do that a few times, you got it for long term. Right. So that's what you got to do. Now, if you're meeting a lot of people, what I suggest you do is get their business cards or write it down or do whatever it is. And then from time to time, whether it's a few days or, you know, a few weeks, whatever, just go and visualize their story. You know, I've got this, you'll like this idea. What I used to have is a business card, right? So I went in, are you going to go somewhere or?
Yeah, just I'm getting a missed call from someone.
Right.
That's at this kid's space, so I'm just going to make sure is everything okay.
Yeah, it's not Dale, is it?
No. Okay, I'll just let him know. Sorry, we'll just put pause on the recording.
That's all right. We can keep going. I think people will be intrigued by this.
Yeah. As long as my kid's okay, because that's the parent from the baseball game, and if my kid's broken, I want to know about it. Sorry, proceed.
Yes, I was just saying, I used to have a business card, and
Yeah.
I went into Snap Printing once, and I said,
Oh, yeah.
"Can I get those cards?" And the guy's like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "Those white cards." He goes, "What? Do you want me to cut them for you?" And I'm like,
No,
"Yeah."
just as is.
So I got 500 plain white cards, right? No
Yeah.
design, no nothing. Because that night I had a networking event. So I went to
Yeah.
this networking event, and what happened was there was like 30 people in this one table. There's people just business cards everywhere, flying. I didn't give anything yet. I was having a conversation with the guy next to me, right? And it was an awesome conversation. Obviously, I'm intrigued in what he was doing. He was intrigued in what I was doing. But when I was talking about my stuff, obviously people freak out about memory and memorizing the phone book and all of that stuff. And so my story resonated with him, right? And he said, "Do you have a business card?" And I'm like, "Okay." So I take out my nice little case, open the case up, and I'm giving this blank white card. And he's looking at it. It's like, what's this?
What do I do? Yeah.
What do I do? I'm like, you know what? We've already had this conversation. You know exactly what I do because of the unique story that we've shared, the connection, right? So use that connection to now connect it to that white card, right? That's your personal connection from me to you, right? And he was blown away. He's like, "Whoa, this is awesome." And then what he did was talk about my card and his experience with me to every other person on that table. Guess what? By the end of the night, everyone wanted my card. And
Yeah.
people forgot about, the travel agent and all these other people, and they just wanted to speak to me because of that one story. So
Yeah.
stories are really powerful. And some people gave the card back and goes, "Can you just write your details?" So that was quite funny. And I said, "No, you write the details because it's your handwriting. It's going to be more memorable, right? You remember
Yeah.
your own handwriting." So
Yeah.
as you can see, the stories and the connections are really powerful. So if you use it in the right way, it becomes an experience, and it's the experience that triggers your brain as well. Now, obviously, someone like you, the training will help.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I was gonna
Training
say,
will help.
like, I should probably start focus. Like, if I go to a dinner, like, okay, how do I get started? How do I start trying to do this? What's something I can do right now? If I go to dinner, I meet four people that I want to remember.
Yep.
Do we just do what we did then, or is there something I can do to keep recalling it?
I'm just going to stop the screen sharing now because I want
Yeah.
some I don't know what ratio or screen resolution it's recording at. So
Yeah.
I'm just I'll piece it together anyway. Because when I was doing the screen recording before, it just crops and makes a weird resolution.
Yeah, you'll
How you
find out
can
later.
start? Yeah, it's all right. So what do you do, right? The first thing you do is if someone says, "Hey, my name's Bob," right? Think of one little association that could come, or right, you can get the names beforehand. If you're really worried, right, get the names beforehand, right,
Mm-hmm.
and make images and stories for them. So if there's
Yep.
30 people attending this networking thing, get the names and just build the stories up for each person. You can have all the time in the world, right? That's what I used to do. Whenever I used to go and do demonstrations, I used to get the names previously, right, before my event. So now I've got those stories. So if I do meet the Bob, I can just say, "Oh, I can see you bobbing up and down." Right? So you're
Yeah.
pre-memorizing. You get there, you make that association quickly, right? You
Yeah.
meet a John, picture them in the toilet, right? Instead of your father's mate. A lot
Ah, the
easier.
classic, classic.
Classic, right? So that's what, if you meet a Matt, right? We know Matt. Picture him in a welcome mat or something like that, or maybe you pulled the welcome mat under him. Or I mean, you can't.
Yeah,
He's 6'12".
I know.
So so you could do stuff like that, and pre-memorize before you get into the meetings. Now, obviously, sometimes you don't get all the names you want, so you can either
No,
write it
but for
down.
important stuff, I do. I mean, I'm lucky enough that anyone I want to remember is a name I probably already got free. Like, I'm
Yeah,
not going to like 20 strangers and I want to memorize all of them. It'd be like, I know I'm going to sit next to this person and I want to remember that,
yeah,
without a name tag, like, so And it's genuinely important to me. I really, because I care. I guess this is it. Like when I don't remember, it comes across as if you don't care. And when you really care, it really annoys you when you worry that people might think you don't care.
Yeah, yeah. I would look, meet the person, and just come up with one little image. Now, if you don't get an image, right? If you're really stuck, which has happened to you, right? And to a
Yeah.
lot of people too. It's a normal thing. Write the name down or get their card or something, right? And as you're talking, let them talk. Ask questions. Questions are great, right? So as they're talking, look at the name and go, oh yeah, Shane. Do I know a Shane? Maybe Shane Warne or whatever, or or you could say, I'm learning this cool memory trick, right? Trying to remember person's names. I'm trying to visualize some sort of image for you. Have you ever come up with something unique for your name, right? Actually incorporate it into the connection, right?
Yeah.
Because yeah, you are human. We do forget. And you could say, look, I'm pretty bad with names, right? I'm learning something new. Can I try something? Right? It's whatever you feel comfortable with.
From what I noticed in that, like I noticed I was able to recall the story, but you're right. You got to make the story really connected to that name. Because I noticed I was able, and I think that's what I mean when I say I'm really good at remembering random shit about people, but I don't usually remember their name. So I remember they have a cat or a dog or a kid and that sort of stuff. But I'll never remember the kid's name. I'll never remember their name or anything like that. So I got to find a way to make that story rhyme with the name.
That doesn't have to be rhyming.
I know,
it could
but
just be anything that's similar. Yeah. So you can either break the name apart. Like if you met someone named Vijay Ranganamachandran, right? You're going, well, what the hell, right? Unless you're Indian, you're obviously, that'll be easy as anything because there's a meaning behind it, right? But you look at it, you can break it up. You go, VJ was a DJ, Vijay, orangutan jumped on him, while he was DJing, Rama, maybe there's caused all this drama at the club, and Chandra, maybe everyone was chundering, right? So now you connecting this story and go, oh yeah, Vijay Rangan Ramachandran. Oh yeah, cool. So it's all about the storytelling and connection. Yeah, sometimes it's going to work. It's going to be easy, but sometimes you look at the name going, I got nothing. I got nothing, and that's fine. Right.
Yeah.
But like I said, memory training is the key. And I mean, gee, when people work with me, I give them all these exercises and trainings and stuff like that. So that's how they really develop their memory. But for people starting out new, jump on that Memory League website and just have a play around, because sometimes it's good. You can learn a lot of stuff and it's gamified. So you get from level 1 to level 2 to 3, and it's like you want to beat your score. So you're constantly thinking of ways to improve. Obviously, I've got a ton of videos on how to remember names and all this sort of stuff on my YouTube channel. But yeah, the only thing that I suggest to start out with, just make those stories up and images and create and see how you go. You might be surprised on what happens.
I'll give it a go. Let's see if I can overcome my patheticness.
I don't think it's patheticness, man. It's human. We are human. So it even happens to me. I mean, even to the best of us, So if we don't make that story,
if I don't make
a story, exactly. It's a conscious thing. People think that, they look at me, they go, oh, you just remember everything, right? No, if I don't make the effort, if I don't turn that switch, I'll forget.
Well, if I remember correctly, you went into becoming world champion at memory because you had a bad memory, or at least you thought you did, right? Like there was.
I was a skeptic. It wasn't like, oh yeah, I can improve. It was like, oh, this is all crap. I don't believe it. That's how staunch I was, staunch skeptic to being able to remember stuff. I'm like, what? After all these years thinking I've had a bad memory, to now being able to remember a few words. I mean, that was insane for me, and then years later memorizing 20,000 odd digits of the Yellow Pages phone book. I never thought I'd be able to do it. I'm not someone that's always been disciplined or carried something through. I've always given up in life. So when something like this came up, I'm like, what? I don't even have to use my brain. I just make stories. I'm in.
I'm in.
That was it. That was it. Yeah.
Love it.
Cool. All right. Well, let's leave it there, Tony. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
It's great.
I feel genuinely relieved that there's something I can do. You're right. It doesn't sound too hard. I know we've talked about memory in the past, but we never actually talked about tactics. So it's so good. I'm going to genuinely give this a go because it is important to me. So thank you, man. Really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Now, can we do something, right?
Nah.
Can I get you back after you've tried these techniques to see how you've actually been? Because people watching, they're going to be curious. I'm going to be curious, right? And it, puts
All
a
right.
little bit of accountability as well for you to use these skills.
If
is that
we
okay?
yes, if we get a certain amount of likes, what's your usual likes? We've got to beat your average. If we, if
Five.
it's 5,
If we
all
get
right, we're
more
gonna
than
get
5,
10. We're gonna get 10 likes, then I'll do it.
10 likes. Oh my
Come
goodness.
on, people.
Putting me on the
Hit that-
spot, man. People
hit
don't
that
even
like
watch
button.
this far into a video.
Yeah. Well, we'll test it. All right, I'll do it, but like, I will still want 10 likes.
Cool, man. All right, look, if we get at least 10 likes, we'll get you on then, and I'll personally tag you in the video.
Since I'm such a celebrity.
You're awesome, man. Like I love the stuff that you're doing. So people don't know what you do. Just jump on LinkedIn and see this guy. But let's get you back on because I'm really curious to see how you're going to go implementing these techniques because it's not easy. It's not easy.
No, I'm terrified of letting you down now. But yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
But do it when you're ready as well. So not just like do it once and then come back. Like do it a few times.
No,
you see a lot of people and see how you go.
Yeah, I'm a good test subject. So I'll do the test for all of you, and we can all let me suffer for your benefit.
Awesome, man. All right. I better let you go. My wife's yelling at me to cook these steaks. So I'll catch you in the next one.
Awesome, buddy. Thank you. Cheers.
Cheers. Bye.
Bye.